Hello, I'm the Resolute Cartographer, and this is the first video in a series I'm going to do on the Dragon Age games. This is Dragon Age Origins, the first Dragon Age game, and we're going to start here, obviously. Now I'm also going to do Dragon Age 2, Dragon Age Inquisition, and Dragon Age the Veilguard when we eventually get to it. I will say that this is the second time I've attempted to record this video. The first time through, I got about 2 hours in, and I had about 20 minutes of gameplay recorded, and the reason for that is because I decided I'm going to read all the codex entries aloud. Well, that takes a really long time. And also basically distracts from actually getting anything done when I'm actually doing the videos. The main goal here is to actually move the story forward in each video, so we're going to do that. Now, if at some point people are really interested in having me read all the codexes aloud, so it's just something they can like listen to while they're driving or something, I don't know. I can maybe do something then. But for now, let's just talk about Dragon Age. So this is a 2009 game, again, the first game in the Dragon Age series, and it's a game that has a very dark tone to it, and it's very interesting. So we're going to go ahead and start a new game. I do have a resume option here, but again, that's for the version where I ended up closing things out, just being like, I'm deleting this 40 gigabyte file, we're moving on. Alright, so Dragon Age Origins or Awakening. Awakening is the expansion, so we're going to go with Origins. And so is the golden city blackened with each step you take in my hall. Marvel at perfection, for it is fleeting. You have brought sin to heaven and doom upon all the world. Canticle of Thrinities 8:13. Very interesting backstory to Dragon Age.
The Chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world.
Love the voice of Duncan.
The Mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead, they destroyed it.
Excellent music, too.
They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption.
And I love this simple animation, also just great.
They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation.
Now, it's been 16 years since this game came out, but honestly, it doesn't look bad.
Until the Greywardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Greywardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness and prevail.
I wonder if YouTube's going to be okay with the amount of blood there is in this game. I know there are people that have had trouble with that. Personally, they've never struck me on anything, but it might be because I'm small enough that I'm beneath their notice.
It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten.
I will say this scene right here is probably showing the...
We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long.
the greatest amount of age in the graphics, the general world space and all that. But awesome animation.
It may even be too late, for I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all.
I love how you just add that little flickering effect and it makes just it obvious that there's just a bunch of torches going by, but it's so simple just to do that. You don't even have to show them. Okay, character creation. So, male or female, the two gender options. Then there's also human, elf, and dwarf. I will read the descriptions of these because I still think that's something important. And it does actually get some things out about the story of the game and the setting, without going as deeply in as the codexes do. So, I don't think there's any difference between men and women in terms of capabilities in the game, so anyway though. If we go into human, we got the most numerous yet the most divided of all the races. Only 4 times have they ever united under a single cause, the last being centuries ago. Religion and the chantry play a large part in human society. It distinguishes them culturally from elves and dwarves more than anything else. Humans can be warriors, rogues, or mages. So the chantry is basically the church, and what we watched earlier, where I was talking about the Darkspawn, we're being taught by the chantry that the Darkspawn were created by mages that broke into heaven. So anyway, let's see. They also got racial bonuses here. Racial benefits, +1 to strength, +1 to dexterity, +1 to magic, +1 to cunning. So kind of a broad base right here, to where it's like you got warrior stuff, rogue stuff, and mage stuff all combined here. Let's go over to elves. Once enslaved by humans, most elves have all but lost their culture. Scrounging an impoverished living in the slums of human cities, only the nomadic Dalish tribes still cling to their traditions, living by the bow and the rule of their old gods as they roam the ancient forests, welcome nowhere else. Elves can be warriors, rogues, or mages. And their racial benefits are +2 to willpower, +2 to magic. They are good mages. Next we have dwarves. Rigidly bound by caste and tradition, the dwarves have been waging a losing war for generations, trying to protect the last stronghold of their once vast underground empire from the Darkspawn. Yeah, Darkspawn dwell in darkness and underground, and the fact that the dwarves had a massive interconnected network of cities with tunnels linking them really made them very vulnerable. Dwarves are very tough and have a high resistance to all forms of magic, thus preventing them from becoming mages. Yeah, the dwarves are the only of these 3 races that cannot become mages, both humans and elves can. In fact, again, the elves are likely the better mages, but anyway, not just likely, they are. Anyway, dwarves. Racial benefits, +1 to strength, +1 to dexterity, +2 to constitution, and 10% chance to resist hostile magic. So the fact that they can't become mages is not entirely detrimental. It means that they're also protected against magic to an extent. Okay, class. You got warrior. Warriors are powerful fighters, focusing on melee and ranged weapons to deal with their foes. They can withstand and deliver a great deal of punishment, and have a strong understanding of tactics and strategy. Specializations for warrior include Berserker, Templar, Champion, and Reaver. Class benefits +4, +3 to dexterity, +3 to constitution. We'll go over these specializations once we get to them, but you have to be level 7 to even activate these things. Anyway. Next up we have, let's go to the elves and go to Mage, but it specifically jumps to background automatically, so we click it again. There we go. As dangerous as it is potent, magic is a curse for those lacking the will to wield it. Malevolent spirits that wish to enter the world of the living are drawn to mages like beacons, putting the mage and everyone nearby in constant danger. Because of this, mages lead lives of isolation, locked away from the world they threaten. Specializations include Spirit Healer, Shapeshifter, Arcane Warrior, and Blood Mage. Blood Mage, definitely, I mean, just by the name, you know, it's the darkest version of those things. The mages that broke into heaven were Blood Mages. And then we go to Rogue. Rogues are skilled adventurers who come from all walks of life. All rogues possess some skill in picking locks and spotting traps, making them valuable assets to any party. Tactically, they are not ideal frontline fighters, but if rogues can circle around behind their target, they can backstab to devastating effect. Rogue specializations are Ranger, Bard, Duelist, and Assassin. Class benefits +4 to dexterity, +2 to willpower, +4 to cunning. I missed that before on these. Sorry. Mage benefits +5 to magic, +4 to willpower, +1 to cunning, and warrior has +4 to strength, +3 to dexterity, +3 to constitution. We'll get to what these mean here in just a minute. Now there are also the backgrounds, like I said. Let's go to human. Humans have 2 backgrounds available. If they're warriors or if they're rogues, it's the same background, human noble. Born to wealth and power, second only to royalty, you find your training in both diplomacy and battle put to the test as your brother leads the bulk of your family's forces to war in the south. Then we go to Mage, and we got Magi. Wielding a power as dangerous as it is potent, you know that magic is a curse for those lacking the will to control it. You anxiously await your harrowing, the one chance to prove yourself, against the demons lurking within and without. Succeed or be slaughtered by the knights who ward against your kind. Those knights are Templars, which again, if you remember from the warriors, you can... Sorry, there we go. You can become a Templar. So that's basically a warrior who is skilled against magic. But anyway, so back to the background there. We just finished that. Okay, so going on to elves, they have 3 backgrounds available to them. If they're warriors or if they're rogues, they have the ability to be Dalish elves or city elves. Well, if they're mages, they again only have the Magi background. We've already read that though, so let's go ahead and take a look at the Dalish elf. Proud of your role as one of the few true elves, you have always assumed that you would spend your life with your tribe until a chance encounter with a relic of your people's past threatens to tear you away from everything you've ever known. I've never actually experienced either of these backgrounds. In fact, I'll just give you a little bit of backstory here. I have only ever played as a human warrior and gone through the human noble background. I've done that twice, in fact. So this game I'm going to be going in as an elf and a mage, just because I could go in as a rogue, but I feel mage is going to be the biggest difference between human and warrior, just because obviously you're doing a different thing now. I have done the opening to the mage thing twice now. Well, really, basically 1.5 times. Half that time was in that 2 hours where I was reading codex entries. So I have a little bit of experience with it, but anyway. Back to talking about Dalish elves. Actually, now we're on to city elves now. You've always lived under the heavy thumb of your human overlords, but when a local lord claiming his privilege with a bride shatters your wedding day, the simmering racial tensions explode in a rain of vengeance. I should probably play these at some point, but again, for now, we're just going to move forward with the mage. So, going on to dwarves, though. Dwarves have 2 options, because again, they can't be mages, so they can't do the magi background, but they do have for both warrior and for rogue, they have both the dwarf commoner and dwarf noble options. Dwarf commoners are born casteless into a land where rank is everything. Bound as a lackey and thug of a local crime lord, you have spent your life invisible, until chance thrusts you into the spotlight where you can finally prove whether you will be defined by your actions or your birth. And dwarf noble. As the favored child of a dwarven king, you proudly take up your first military command, only to learn that the deadly intrigues of family and sycophants may pose a greater threat than even the battlefield. So again, we're going to go elf, mage, and background's already chosen for us.
Greetings.
Now I'm just going to go ahead and use the default here. There are multiple presets you could go through. Whoa, that last one. That looks a little familiar. If you've played Dragon Age Inquisition or Veilguard, from what I've seen, I've not played Veilguard at all. If you played Dragon Age Inquisition, you'll know who I'm referring to when I say that looks familiar. Anyway, I'll go here, back with the first one. Or, you know what? No, yeah, I don't like that braid. I was going to say the hair color is closer to my actual hair color, but we'll go with this guy. Yeah, I don't like the... I don't know. Alright, no braids. I don't have red hair, but I do have a red beard, so we'll go with that. Well, some red beard. Anyway, next up, the other thing that I really want to focus on here is the voice, where they've got 6 different voices.
No, it is gone.
There's the wise voice. There's cocky.
How do you do?
Experienced.
Greetings.
Mystical.
Greetings.
Suave.
Charmed, I'm sure.
And violent.
Greetings. Oh, my spell!
That doesn't really sound all that violent to me.
My weapon does nothing.
I don't know. It sounds kind of nerdy to me. But anyway, we'll go with experienced.
Greetings.
Okay. Now, your last name is chosen for you, but you can change your first name. I'm just going to go with the one that's randomly generated there. But along with that, we can alter the portrait, which is kind of cool. Because it's not an animated portrait, but you can basically make it do whatever you want it to do here. My favorite thing here, though, is easily the expression, where you can drag it. What is that? I'll just go back to normal here. But I will change the background to blue, because I associate blue with mana, and therefore magic, and this is a mage. So, alright. Attributes. We got strength, dexterity, willpower, magic, cunning, and constitution. Strength measures a character's physical prowess and directly affects the damage a character deals in physical combat. It also contributes to the accuracy of melee weapons. High strength is essential for warriors, in particular if they wish to wield two-handed weapons, and is nearly critical for rogues. Okay? So, basically not something we have to consider as a mage. Dexterity. Dexterity is a measure of agility, reflexes, and balance. Higher dexterity improves a character's chance to hit, making a character more likely to dodge incoming blows, and contribute to damage dealt by piercing weapons like daggers or arrows. Archery and dual-wielding fighting styles demand high dexterity to master, making this attribute a favorite for rogues. Again, not something we really need to worry about. Willpower represents a character's determination and mental fortitude. With high willpower, mages can cast more spells thanks to a deeper mana pool. For warriors and rogues, willpower grants more stamina for combat techniques and special attacks. So we will want to put some points into willpower. We do have more in there already, but again, we're talking mana pool, so that's pretty damn important. Magic. Magic is a measure of a character's natural affinity for the arcane. This attribute is critical for mages since it directly impacts a character's spell power score, which determines the potency of all spells. The magic attribute also determines how effective potions, poultices, and salves are for all classes. Basically, yeah, they had to put that last part in there because otherwise this would basically be useless for anybody else unless it also increased your resistance to magic or something. Next up we have Cunning. Cunning determines how well a character learns and reasons. Most skills, such as herbalism or combat tactics, require a quick mind to master, and an observant eye can more easily find weaknesses in enemy armor. Rogues benefit most from this statistic, as many of their class abilities and special attacks rely on subtlety or reading the target, not in raw strength. The interesting thing here is that dexterity, strength, and cunning, basically, all of them are saying, yeah, this is good for rogues, guys. So, anyway. Constitution. Constitution represents health and resilience. Higher constitution directly increases the amount of damage a character can take before falling off the battlefield. So, I mean, obviously it's been set at the lowest level, just like strength and dexterity. This is also basically seemingly the simplest of the attributes, because again, it's just directly health and resilience. So I think it probably increases your resistances to things as well when you increase this. I'll probably put a point or two in there occasionally, just because as much as I love a glass cannon, when the cannon breaks, it's pretty annoying. So I'm going to put a point in there. But then I'm also going to put a point in willpower, magic, cunning, and let's go ahead and put another point in magic. Alright. Okay, now we're on to skills. I'm not going to read all these. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of point out what they are. So, coercion. This is basically talking your way through things. Or if you're tougher, it's basically a way of intimidating people into things. Stealing is just pickpocketing. Trap making, you can make and detect traps. Survival, you can detect creatures and get a small bonus to nature resistance. Herbalism, you can make simple potions. Again, that's the first one. The top one here. Yeah, all of these increase into where it's like this one. You can make 4th tier potions. Poison making is pretty obvious. Then we also got combat training. A character has completed basic combat training. Warriors and rogues gain access to 1st tier weapon talents. Mages can take more damage from an attack before it interrupts their spell casting. So yeah, and again, that just kind of scales across these. And then combat tactics. The character can formulate strategies quickly in battle and consequently gains a combat tactics slot. Okay, so we get 1 point to spend here. I'm going to put it in coercion because I like being able to talk my way through things. Alright, so we get the basic mage skill here in Arcane Bolt. But we can also level it up to get Arcane Shield, Staff Focus, and Arcane Mastery. And I will put points into that whenever we get to the opportunity, but again, like you can see here, we've got the first point. We can't do anything until we get to level 3. But there's some definitely more interesting stuff here. Ability to cast Fire Blasts, harden your armor against attacks, freeze things temporarily to slow them down, hit things with lightning. Heal, this is definitely what I'm going to put a point in because it comes in very handy when you're in combat with a party of people. But there's other stuff here too, like a lot of these creation ones, either you are basically doing crowd control or you're assisting your own people, or in this case you're actually summoning in additional little things to help you out. Down here, Spirit, we got a Spell Shield, Mana Drain, Walking Bomb, and Mind Blast. And this one, I think, yeah, this is also basically your necromancy right here. Then entropy is all basically poisoning and killing, cursing things. I'm going to go ahead and put, again, the point in healing, and then I'm going to put another point in Winter's Grasp, because it is nice to have something that does do some crowd control. In this case, it slows things down. So yeah, let's move on. Okay, difficulty, I'm going to put the normal. You could technically do easy, hard, or nightmare. But my main point here is doing the story, but at the end of the day, I don't want to do it too easily. So let's go ahead with this.
On a cliff overlooking the dark waters of Lake Calenhad stands the tower fortress that is home to the Circle of Magi. This tower is the only place in Ferelden where mages may study their art among others of their kind. Within the high stone walls, the Circle practices its magic and trains apprentices in the proper use of their powers. But the Circle Tower is as much a prison as a refuge. The ever-vigilant Templars of the Chantry watch over all mages, constantly alert for any sign of corruption. This gilded cage is the only world you know. Found to be sensitive to magic at a young age, you were torn from your family and grafted here as an apprentice. Now, that apprenticeship is nearly over. All that remains is the final test, the harrowing.
Magic exists to serve man, and never to rule over him. Thus spoke the prophet Andraste as she cast down the Tevinter Imperium, ruled by mages who had brought the world to the edge of ruin. Your magic is a gift, but it's also a curse. For demons of the Dream Realm, the Fade, are drawn to you, and seek to use you as a gateway into this world.
This is why the harrowing exists. The ritual sends you into the Fade, and there you will face a demon, armed with only your will.
Let's go with, okay, real quick though, Ferelden, the land we're in, is just one of the many countries of Thedas. Thedas being the name of the world of the Dragon Age series, which, if you haven't noticed, spelling it out, the Dragon Age series, the DAS, Thedas. But along with that, Ferelden is the country we're in. It's, my understanding of it is basically an analog for, like, England. Whereas Orlais, which is the country to the west, is an analog for France. There's also Ravane, which I believe is an analog for Italy, but I could be wrong. It's been a while. So, anyway, though, we're going to go ahead and say, I'm ready.
Know this, apprentice. If you fail, we Templars will perform our duty. You will die. This is Lyrium, the very essence of magic, and your gateway into the Fade.
The harrowing is a secret out of necessity, child. Every mage must go through this trial by fire. As we succeeded, so shall you. Keep your wits about you, and remember the Fade is a realm of dreams. The spirits may rule it, but your own will is real.
The apprentice must go through this test alone, First Enchanter. You are ready.
Alright, here we go. Alright, here we are in the Fade. Like he said, it's the dream world, the land of spirits and demons. Alright, yeah, we just got all the codex entries. And again, that is what got me caught up last time, was reading all those out loud. Let me just show you real quick what I'm talking about here. If we go to the codex entries, it's like magic and religion. And it's like, this is one of these short ones, okay? Anyway, okay. So we got Vase of Healing, which is full of shimmering orbs. Oh yeah, I forgot. The inventory is already full of a bunch of stuff because we've got all the expansions. There are a few things here we can use. I'm gonna throw that in there. And let's see here. Yeah, I'll use this necklace. Alright, that's all I'm gonna do. There are other items I could potentially wear here, but I would definitely say that the Helm of the Deep is not intended for a mage. The Blood Dragon Plate is definitely interesting, but yeah, we can't even wear it. Anyway, okay. So, let's also use this little book here, the Formari Tome, and that gives us a skill point. Let's go in here, and let's see. I'm going to go ahead and put another point into skills here. Oh, sorry, into coercion, to get improved coercion. Okay. And we can look at this disturbing statue and get another codex entry where it's basically just telling you, you don't know what you're looking at in the Fade. This could be a spirit or it could just be part of the Fade. And now we're under attack. This is the combat camera here. That's how it paused itself on purpose, just to give us this little note. But the enemy that it's targeting is all the way over there. It's this wisp. So we're going to go ahead and hit that thing. And it survived, so I hit it with Winter's Grasp, and it's dead. Yeah, let's get rid of that. And those things are all new codex entries. Let's keep on moving. So yeah, the Fade is an interesting place. Again, it's dream world where Mages can interact with things when they're in their dreams. There we go. My health will regenerate here momentarily, as will my mana. But anyway, Oop. Sorry. I'm trying to say stuff and keep getting interrupted by combat. Anyway, there are little floating islands you can see out there, and at least one of those islands somewhere is what's now known as the Black City. I think the Black City used to be the Golden City. Used to be heaven.
Someone else thrown to the wolves, as fresh and unprepared as ever. It isn't right that they do this, the Templars. Not to you, me, anyone.
You're a talking rat.
You think you're really here, in that body? You look like that because you think you do. It's always the same, but it's not your fault. You're in the same boat I was, aren't you? Allow me to welcome you to the Fade. You can call me, well, Mouse.
Not your real name, I take it.
No, I don't remember anything from before. The Templars kill you if you take too long, you see. They figure you failed, and they don't want something getting out. That's what they did to me, I think. I have no body to reclaim, and you don't have much time before you end up the same.
What am I supposed to do?
There's something here, contained, just for an apprentice like you. You have to face the creature, a demon, and resist it. If you can. That's your way out. Or your opponents, if the Templars wouldn't kill you. A test for you. A tease for the creatures of the Fade.
Why pit me against such creatures?
A question for those in the tower. Maybe you'll be lucky enough to ask. Maybe someday, so will I. There are others here. Other spirits. They will tell you more. Maybe help. If you can believe anything you see. I'll follow, if that's all right. My chance was long ago, but you may have a way out.
Alright. So there's Mouse there.
Dangerous spirit is not far. Don't go near it unless you're ready to fight.
Let's see. Alright, we got some lyrium over there. Those little spikes. We can regenerate our mana with that. Gonna keep on moving. I think I'm gonna need to be able to pause here in just a second. Yeah, we're in combat. There's a wisp. Let's go ahead and hit it. There it goes. Alright. Let's keep on moving. So, ooh.
Let's get started.
Ooh, that didn't kill it? Oh, I didn't complete the spell. Okay. Alright, and here we have another spirit.
Another spirit this way. It never seemed equal to its name to me.
Another mortal thrown into the flames and left to burn, I see. Your mages have devised a cowardly test. Better you were pitted against each other to prove your mettle with skill, and to be sent unarmed against a demon.
So, real quick here, something that would have come up if I had read the Codex entries to you, is that effectively all spirits in the Fade, well, even demons are spirits. And effectively what it is they take on a specific attribute of human emotion, and that becomes, like, what they're an avatar of. In this case, we got a spirit of valor. So we've got good spirits and bad spirits. The bad ones are simply they're taking on the bad parts of human nature, which are things like rage, pride, sloth, hunger. So, anyway, though, again, this is a good one. So, fight each other. We're not warriors.
They would have you battle a demon. With magic or weapon, to be the victor makes you a warrior still. That you remain means you have not yet defeated your hunter. I wish you a glorious battle to come.
What kind of spirit are you?
I am Valor, a warrior spirit. I hone my weapons in search of the perfect expression of combat.
Did you create all these weapons?
They are brought into being by my will. I understand that in your world, mages are the only ones who can will things into being. Those mortals who cannot must lead such hollow, empty lives.
Would one of these weapons affect the demon?
Without a doubt. In this realm, everything that exists is the expression of a thought. Do you think these blades be steel? The staves be wood? Do you believe they draw blood? A weapon is a single need for battle, and my will makes that need reality. Do you truly desire one of my weapons? I will give one to you, if you agree to duel me first. Valor shall test your mettle as it should be tested.
Let's use our willpower option here. It seems you would prefer to kill me yourself.
How dare you accuse me? I am no demon preying upon helpless mortals to steal their essence. I am a being of honor and valor. I am a warrior.
Then prove it. Help me fight the demon.
You are insolent. But your will is unquestionably strong. Very well, mortal. You prove to me that you possess the strength to resist this demon. Go. Prove your worth as you must. I am confident you will succeed.
Alright, so we now have a new weapon. And that is the Valor's Staff here. Now, unfortunately, we won't be able to take this into the world with us, but, you know, it is what it is. We can at least use it while we're here. Oop. We got Spirit Wolf.
Next!
There's another one. Uh-oh. None of my spells are ready. Luckily, we can cast bolts out of the end of the staff. Oh. There we go.
Be cautious. There is another spirit here. Not the one hunting you, but still.
Alright. Now, one of the other codex entries says that sloth demons are among the more dangerous demons. It's just that you have to actually get them interested in something so they'll get up and actually do something about it.
So, you are the mortal being hunted. And the small one, is he to be a snack for me?
I don't like this. He's not going to help us. We should go.
No matter. The demon will get you eventually. And perhaps there will even be scraps left.
What kind of spirit are you?
It's a demon. Maybe even more powerful than the one chasing after you.
Be gone. Surely you have better things to do than bother sloth, mortal. Oh, I tire of you already.
Why are you called Sloth? What are you?
I am a spirit of sloth. Yes, a creature of the fade. Unlike yourself, mortals are ever the visitors here. Still, you serve your function. Only the mortals like yourself are truly annoying.
Mortals like myself?
You are aware. A mortal with power and will. The sort of creature that some spirits hunger for. I might be inclined for such a meal myself. It would be interesting to see the mortal world through your eyes, live inside your form. But I am disinclined to begin such a struggle.
So you're a demon?
As you mortals might term it. But not all demons are demons. Worry about the one hunting you.
I need help defeating a demon.
You have a very nice staff. Why would you need me? Go. Use your weapon, since you have earned it. Be valorous.
He looks powerful. It might be possible that he could teach you to be like him.
Like me? You mean teach the mortal to take this form? Why? Most mortals are too attached to their forms to learn the change. You, on the other hand, little one, might be a better student. You let go of the human form years ago.
I don't think I'd make a very good bear. How would I hide?
Hiding doesn't solve anything. We need to face our fears.
I have faced more in this place than you can imagine. Fear is just one more thing. But you are right. Hiding doesn't help. I'm sorry, it's the Fade. It changes you. I'll try. I'll try to be a bear. If you'll teach me.
That's nice. But teaching is so exhausting. Away with you now.
I told you he wasn't going to help us.
Mouse wants to learn. Teach him.
You wish to learn my form, little one? Then I have a challenge for your friend. Answer 3 riddles correctly, and I will teach you. Fail, and I will devour you both. The decision is yours.
I accept your challenge, Sloth.
Truly? Oh, this gets more and more promising. My first riddle is this. I have seas with no water, coasts with no sand, towns without people, mountains without land. What am I?
A map.
Correct. Let's move on. The second riddle. I'm rarely touched, but often held. If you have wit, you'll use me well. What am I?
My tongue.
Yes, your witty tongue. Fair enough. One more try, shall we? Often will I spin a tale, never will I charge a fee. I'll amuse you an entire eve, but alas, you won't remember me. What am I?
A dream.
You are correct. Rather apropos here in the Fade, no? But you've won my challenge and proven yourself an amusing distraction. So, I shall teach you my form. Now, listen carefully.
Like this? Am I a bear? It feels heavy.
Close enough. Go then, and defeat your demon, or whatever you intend to do. I grow weary of your mortal prattling.
Now, I will say that you encounter a sloth demon later in the game. I'm interested if it's the same one, just because I've encountered that sloth demon as a warrior, so I don't know. Because I don't think there is just one of any one of these demons. In fact, I remember from Dragon Age Inquisition encountering a large number of pride demons, but anyway. Oop, we got wolves. Okay. You. Bear, you go attack the spirit wolf. Sorry, mouse, you attack the spirit wolf. You go ahead and hit this thing with Wintersiper Grasp. Now hit it. Now attack this one. Oh, they're all attacking the bear. I think he did an automatic thing where he taunted, so. Note that his health is a little low, so what we'll do... Oh, oops. Use heal on him. There we go. Now he would automatically regenerate that anyway, but figured it was interesting to show you how it works there. Okay. We have now faced everything we needed to face except for the main and final demon. Let's head up here.
And there is a spirit of
Rage demon.
And so it comes to me at last. Soon I shall see the land of the living with your eyes, creature. You shall be mine, body and soul.
If I lose, the Templars will still cut you down.
They are welcome to try. So this creature is your offering, Mouse. Another plaything as per our arrangement.
I'm not offering you anything. I don't have to help you anymore.
Oh. And after all those wonderful meals we have shared, now suddenly the mouse has changed the rules.
I'm not a mouse now. and soon I won't have to hide. I don't need to bargain with you.
We shall see.
Alright. Okay, I'm gonna let the, let Mouse take on him. And in the meantime, I'm gonna use, my mage here. Alum, I guess? I didn't even really look at the name. We'll go ahead and start attacking these things. And I see that his health is low, so let's go ahead and hit him with the heal, and then get back to killing wisp wraiths. Ooh, that didn't. Okay, did that not go off? Maybe, I don't know if it did or not. The arcane bolt seemed to not do anything.
As you wish.
His health is low again. Let's hit him with another heal. And then, let's see, do we... Yep, we got our arcane bolt ready. There we go. Now it's just the rage demon. Figured that the cold would do some damage there. Alright, we leveled up.
You did it. You actually did it. When you came, I hoped that maybe you might be able to, but I never really thought any of you were worthy.
Sounds like your help was unusual. Why?
You made me believe in you. You're a true mage. One of the few. The others, they never had a chance. The Templars set them up to fail, like they tried with you. I regret my part in it. But you have shown me that there is hope. You can be so much more than you know.
I understand necessity. What now?
You defeated a demon. You completed your test. With time, you will be a master enchanter with no equal. And maybe there's hope in that for someone as small and as forgotten as me. If you want to help, there may be a way for me to leave here, to get a foothold outside. You just need to want to let me in.
I'm starting to think the other demon wasn't my test.
What? What do you... Of course it was! What else is here that could harm an apprentice of your potential? You are a smart one.
Simple killing is a warrior's job. The real dangers of the Fade are preconceptions, careless trust, pride.
Yep, he's a pride demon.
Keep your wits about you, Mage. True tests never end.
It's a good thing we don't actually have to fight them, because pride demons are awful.
Are you alright? Say something, please.
Joan?
Oh, I'm glad you're alright. They carried you in this morning. I didn't even realize you'd been gone all night. I've heard about apprentices who never come back from harrowings. Is it really that dangerous? What was it like?
It was harrowing.
Is that why they don't tell us what it's about? I know I'm not supposed to know, but we're friends. Just a little hint and I'll stop asking, I promise.
I really shouldn't.
So much for friendship. I'll leave you alone then. And now you get to move to the nice mage's quarters upstairs. I'm stuck here and I don't know when they'll call me for my harrowing.
They'll summon you for the test when you're ready.
I've been here longer than you have. Sometimes I think they just don't want to test me.
Doesn't everyone go through a harrowing?
The tranquil never go through a harrowing. You do the harrowing, the rite of tranquility, or you die. That's what happens.
They're not going to kill you, Joan.
They might not. But the rite of tranquility is just as bad, maybe worse. You've seen the tranquil around the tower. Like Owain, who runs the stockroom. He's so cold. No, not even cold. There's just nothing in him. It's like he's dead but still walking. His voice, his eyes are lifeless.
What did they do to him?
He's been made tranquil. I don't know how they do it exactly, but you're cut off from the Fade. It takes away your magic abilities, along with your dreams and emotions.
How awful.
Apprentices can ask to be made tranquil if they fear the harrowing, but the Circle also forces tranquility on those they feel are weak, and sometimes they force it upon apprentices they think might be too dangerous as mages. I shouldn't waste your time with this. I was supposed to tell you to see Irving as soon as you woke up.
Where is he?
He said he'd be in his study upstairs. You'd better not keep him waiting. We can speak later.
Did you hear anything?
Okay.
Is he all right? Is he awake?
Why do you care?
That Templar, Cullen, said it was the quickest, cleanest harrowing he'd ever seen. He must be so talented.
Someone sounds jealous.
I just know I'll be terrified when my time comes. Like Wendell was. He'd throw up every day for the next week just thinking about it.
Sorry, I was just listening to that. Alright, let's take a look at this leveling up here. We got 3 points. I'm thinking willpower, magic, and cunning. Okay. And let's see. Let's get a point in fire. Okay. Let's explore this floor a little bit. Let's see. Oh, we got something here. Someone's random chest. I can take their vellum. Okay, let's see. Anything else in here? Looks like all we've got in here is a couple of apprentice mages and a vanity over here. I think these are just like you can click. You can click on them and they'll say a random line.
This tower is too cold.
Well, you should probably get your head out of the wall then. And we can also search this vanity here for more blank vellum. Anything else? Just another apprentice mage. Anyway, let's go through here. I think... Okay, I don't think we're going that way for now. We can check though, see what this door does. We can take a look in here. Oh, okay, I think that's... Yeah, that's the way out. Okay, we're definitely not going that way. Lyrium dust. I think that's consumable. Let's see, this lyrium... This is lyrium found in a natural powdered state, ready to be incorporated into potions. Restriction mage. Use. After inhaling lyrium dust, the user regains a small amount of mana. Only spellcasters can benefit from lyrium dust. Alright. Let's see, anything else in here? No, I don't think so. Can we talk to the Templars? I think we can. Let's see what they say.
Congratulations on the harrowing.
Alright.
Yes, is there something you need?
That's a big door.
Yes, it is. Do you need something, or are you just here to state the obvious?
Is this the only way out of the tower?
The only safe one, as far as I know. There are windows on the higher levels, but surely you don't need me to warn you of the dangers of leaping from them. It never ends well.
I like that you can see the little tiny dots of reflected light on his eyes in there. Can I leave the tower?
No, you may not. I'm surprised you asked. I would have thought you'd be used to this idea by now.
Why can't I leave?
Only mages on official circle business are allowed to leave the tower, and the first enchanter has not informed us of any mages leaving the tower today.
What's out there?
For Eldon, it's not very interesting. Mostly farms, the occasional river.
That should get going.
Make a smile fortune on you.
Well, that's the entrance hall. I think this just goes back into the room where we started. Yeah? Alright, let's keep on moving. We will explore everywhere. I'm not going to read all the codex entries to you. I will give you the gist of them. But yeah, we're going to check out everywhere. We're going to loot every item we can. Talk to people, see what they say.
It's nice to see you still alive.
Mm-hmm.
I really hate how the Templars are always staring at us.
Well, it's kind of their job. I mean, they're supposed to be looking for demons and stuff.
Right.
Honestly, the fact that I was asking, can I leave, should have been a clue, maybe, that there would be something wrong with me. Not that there is, but... Let's see. If somebody was here for this long and actually went through the harrowing and didn't know that they weren't allowed to leave, I would personally be convinced that there's something going on there. Let's see. Can we equip that hood? The apprentice cowl, yes. That looks kind of funny. Alright. I feel like I look like a villain almost with the, or like a low-level boss, like a little mini-boss, right? What do we have here? Cabinet.
As you wish.
Acolyte staff. Oh, I didn't equip the staff that I got before. Acolyte staff, +2 spell power, +1 to magic. Okay, so my spell power is currently 11. Let's see what happens if I equip the staff. That does +1 to magic, which is there. So up to 13, right? Because it was at 11. So +2 points. And the other one I think was just simply +2 to spell power as it was. Correct? Yeah, so that already does that. Plus, I think magic gives me additional things as well. So yeah. Yeah, so definitely magic. Okay. Is this the Iron Staff? Was that what it was called? The Magic Staff Iron. I mean, I guess you could forge something that looks like that, but that doesn't look much like iron. But anyway. Okay. What do we got here? More blank vellum. What can I use that for again? Fine-treated lambskin, suitable for exacting illustration and script. Okay. I don't know if I can actually use it or not. I can't remember. Plus, I doubt that my warrior would have had any use for that.
Must control the fire with your will. Keep the flames steady. We don't want it sputtering and leaping about. That's what causes most of the injuries. Injuries? But... Steady. It reacts to your emotions. If you panic, it will... No. Breathe.
Holy crap!
You know, in my experience, flint and tinder works just as well. Maybe we should start with that.
Hello, Enchanter.
Ah, congratulations on your harrowing.
And you, Apprentice.
It gets easier as the years go by, doesn't it?
Alright, let's see.
Remember what the chantry says about magic.
Oh, there's a book.
Magic must serve man, and not
New Codex, the Fade. Is that it? Any more books? Now that I've seen that one, I'm worried that I may have missed some. So yeah, basically the Fade entry just talks about how it's the dreamscape. The Deventer Imperium tried to map it, but they failed because it's constantly shifting.
force people to do what we want.
That's right. We should not abuse the gift the Maker has given us.
Alright.
Concentrate, hold the sheet.
If you put all my power behind that spell, you would have been obliterated.
I am not your enemy. Fear is your enemy. It is a weakness that can be exploited.
Should you face a demon with your will wavering so, it would consume you. Is that what you want?
No?
Then stand firm and know you can resist whatever I throw at you. Again.
Is that it? I think that's it. Alright. And more Apprentice Mages. There's a book. Let's see. Mana and the use of magic. Alright, so yeah, like it says right here, mana is then the measurement of one's ability to draw power from the Fade. So only mages have mana. Only mages can draw from the Fade, but everyone else can visit the Fade in dreams. Alright, and you can overexert yourself, is basically one of the things it was also saying. Okay. We got Owain, the Tranquil.
Welcome to the Circle's stockroom of magical items. My name is Owain. How may I assist you?
What's the stockroom for?
The stockroom stores components used in magical and alchemical experiments. Do you require something?
Are you really a Tranquil Mage?
I voluntarily submitted to the rite of tranquility. I was unwilling to undergo the harrowing. I find this state agreeable.
Don't you think what they did to you is cruel?
Tranquility has its merits. I see the world with clarity. I remember the days when my mind was filled with inconvenient and seething emotions. Now things are simple.
Man, that first option is mean, and now you are no longer a person. What was becoming Tranquil like?
It is difficult to describe. I would perhaps compare it to being plunged into a pool of ice-cold water.
What happened during the Rite of Tranquility?
I was ordered to never speak of it. I cannot go against the Circle's wishes.
I should go.
Very well. Goodbye.
Okay, there's more Tranquil in there. Can we do anything in here? No. Alright. And out here we've got another Tranquil, and let's keep going to the next room. What do we got? Senior Enchanter Sweeney.
Oh, hello. I don't believe we've met. Are you new to the Circle?
I'm a newly harrowed mage, but I've lived here all my life.
I'm sorry. There are so many of you, and I get confused. Not to mention, these old eyes are starting to go.
Maybe someone could help you fix them.
You're too kind. I'm old and about to fall apart. Nothing in the world can fix that.
Magic could.
Not any magic I'd be caught doing. Anyway, did you need something?
I just wanted to talk.
I'm not good at talking. Too much chatter makes my head throb. Don't you have lessons to get to? Shoo!
Alright. Another tranquil. Okay, we got some more bookshelves. 4 Schools of Magic Primal. Nope, section of books appears to be missing. 4 Schools of Magic Creation. Hierarchy of the Circle. What do we got here?
Chantry would do something before it came to that.
Will they?
4 Schools of Magic Spirit.
And I've heard that the Equitarians are starting to soften a little on the libertarian position.
Sympathy for the position isn't the same as support. Yet. As far as I know, most Equitarians prefer to remain allied with the Loyalists. You can see why, don't you? Just think of what the Chantry would do if suddenly the Circles were petitioning for more independence, or even a split.
Won't be pretty.
Ah, those short-sighted libertarians. They'll get their way and take us all down with them.
Alright.
I think someone's here to speak to you, Senior Torren.
No, but we can. Let's see. History of the Circle. What do we got here? And 4 Schools of Magic Entropy. Is that all of them? Let's see. You got Creation, Entropy, Primal, and Spirit. Yeah, I'll go over those in just a minute. History of the Circle and Hierarchy of the Circle. Let's talk to... it's Nyaligan and Senior Enchanter Torren.
Hello. Congratulations on your harrowing last night. Good work.
What were you talking about earlier?
Ah, the fraternities of the Enchanters. You probably haven't heard of them. It's best not to get tangled up in circle politics. More trouble than it's worth, really.
Tell me about the fraternities.
They're found in all circles throughout Thedas. Groups of enchanters who hold similar viewpoints, who band together to make their voices heard. The most influential fraternity are the Equitarians. They are moderates and believe in a code of conduct that all mages should adhere to. Then there are the Chantry apologists, the Loyalists. The Chantry says something and they follow it to the letter. The Lucrosians just want to make money, and the Isolationists would like us all to be hermits and live on an island. Then of course there are the Libertarians. They want more power for the Circle, more autonomy.
Which do you belong to?
Well, if I had to, I'd say I was an Equitarian, but I ducked out of the fray a long time ago. Most of the senior enchanters are Equitarians. Irving, Wynne, Sweeney. Ulrid's a Libertarian, and a loud one at that. Mages have enough opposition from the outside without tearing our circles apart with infighting. But what can you do?
Giving up doesn't help anyone.
An idealist, I see. Well, if you're going to change the world, you should get started immediately. Lots of world to cover.
Alright. Okay, here we are.
Hello, were you looking for something?
What were you talking to that other mage about?
Oh, the fraternities. Groups of mages with a common agenda. I think we should all be isolationists. Stay in some remote mountain town far away from the mundanes who hate us.
Why don't you go off then?
I'd go hide alone in the wilds if I could. But you know they just brand me an apostate and hunt me down. There is no leaving the circle. It's till death do us part. Romantic, isn't it?
Apostate?
If you leave the circle, you become an apostate. And the punishment for leaving is death. Pretty grim, huh?
There must be mages who aren't part of the circle.
I've heard of hedge witches who've managed to survive on their own, eluding the circle for a lifetime. But if the Templars discover them, well, you know what happens. Then there are stories about the Dalish elf clans having great magic. But who knows what's truth and what's fiction when it comes to the Dalish?
I should get going.
Alright, have a good day.
Given that we were having a conversation earlier, it feels like it would be rude to say, "Who are you?" Alright, let's see. Is that everything in here? I think so. Right, schools magic. Creation magic. So basically it's just saying there it's balancing entropy, which we'll talk about in a minute, and it also takes considerable finesse, which means that these mages are in high esteem and in high demand. Entropy, the opposing force to creation, and then let's see. So basically creation, destruction, primal, which I think is yeah, fire, ice, and lightning, and then spirit. I've got to turn off Discord because that is getting annoying. I'm sure that all those little notification noises are popping into the stream. Anyway, so spirit's the opposite of elemental, and it includes things like, well, dealing with the spirits, obviously, manipulation of mana and the spell energies. Okay, let's see. Let's keep on moving. Wait, have we explored that central room? I'm pretty sure that, yeah, that's where Owain was, the Tranquil. What we got in here? Armoire. With 7 coins. Got those pennies. Let's see here. Mage?
Oh, excuse me. I didn't hear you come in. I'm sorry. I'm terribly busy right now. I have to prepare the room before the Greywarden is done at his meeting with Irving.
What's a Greywarden?
They are an order of brave and noble warriors, sworn to give their lives to defeat the Darkspawn. You know, I almost became a Greywarden once.
Really?
There were several of us chosen, though the Greywardens only wanted one recruit. They only ever have one mage, you see. I think they thought I was the best candidate, but I was young and foolish, and I said I wasn't interested. They picked someone else instead, and that was that. I've regretted it ever since. Ah, well, I should get back to my work.
Alright. Anything else in here? Nope. Okay, let's keep on moving. What do we got here? Nope. I like that it shows the names of the things we can loot, even if they're on the other side of a wall. Armoire. Lyrium dust. Chest.
Let's get started.
Magic staff. We've already got one of those, but may as well. You got room in the inventory. Another mage.
Ah, there you are. You are to be moved out of the apprentice's dormitory, and these are to be your new quarters.
Oh.
The Tranquil will move your belongings this afternoon. Go on, make yourself comfortable.
First of all, I like that I just robbed myself. But along with that, there's also a bathtub with what looks like bottles of booze next to it. You've made it to full mage now. Sit in the tub and drink. Let's see what we got here. Another mage.
I heard that you completed the harrowing in record time.
Didn't seem like it was that fast, right? So, I don't know. Maybe it takes people a long time normally. Another mage.
Irving wants to see you. Get going.
I think that's everything here. Any books? No. Okay. Back out to the hallway. And let's keep on moving. There's Cullen. Hold up. Take a look at the map. I think we've seen everything there is to see so far. Yeah, so we still need to get to our first enchanter Irving, but it looks like, okay, we got 2 doors ahead. One that goes straight, one that goes in here to the Mage Laboratory, and there's also a chapel. Let's see what Cullen is up to.
Greetings. I'm glad your harrowing went well.
Who are you?
I am Cullen. I was to strike the killing blow if you had become an abomination. I am glad you didn't.
But you would have if it was called for.
It is my duty. Some Templars I know discuss such things with glee. I don't share their enthusiasm. I try to serve the Maker first and foremost. As long as I am guided by his commandments, I cannot go wrong. Honestly, I've never seen an abomination, or been called on to slay one.
I think... Hold up. Oh, yeah. Okay, it had been a while since I'd last played Inquisition. Yeah, I forgot Cullen was in this. Okay, yeah. Plus, he looks completely different, really. I mean, when it comes right down to it. I mean, part of that is the graphics being what they are. Part of that's what his hair definitely changes. And anyway, let's see. You don't know what an abomination looks like?
As I said, I've never seen one, but when someone becomes an abomination, something must happen. But what if it's not obvious? Could abominations be walking among us right now?
You'd best be on your guard, then.
This is still new to me. Maybe one day I'll be as dedicated and driven as Knight Commander Gregor.
I should be on my way.
You must be busy. Perhaps we can talk another time.
Easily the friendliest Templar we've come across. And he's in command of the military forces in the Inquisition. When the time comes. Let's see here. Shelves. Blank vellum. Okay. And let's see. And also he's part of Dragon Age 2, but I legitimately don't remember that one at all. It's been 10 years, I think, since I last played that. Something like that at this point. Yeah. Anyway, Charm of Still Waters. I'll take that. I'm not going to use it because I've already got a necklace on that does +1 to all attributes. It wouldn't make any sense to get rid of that. Look at a book. Come on. There we go. Cardinal Rules of Magic. What are they? Okay. I just read over this. Simplified, what we've got here is there's no such thing as teleportation. What we have down here is that when you go into the Fade, your body stays behind unless you're the Tevinter Imperium and you use blood magic, including the lifeblood of several hundred slaves, to open up a proper hole that you can then walk through. And finally, life is something that can really it's finite, and you cannot be brought back from the dead. I believe that's what I've read here. So, what else we got? Mage.
You look well. That's wonderful. I was thrown up for a full week after my harrowing. It's delirium that does that, I think.
It seems like it would. It's one of those things that does not seem like it should be consumed, but mages have the ability to do so if they need to. Okay, I think this is the chapel, right? No. This is the mage laboratory. Let's see. Should be, I remember looking at the map and thinking there's more columns in the chapel, but anyway. Mage.
I hear Irving's very proud of you.
Sounds good. We got Frost Rock, Elf Root, and Deep Mushroom. I think these are all used in brewing, although it looks like you can also chew them. These shards of a Lifestone are infused with magic, either naturally or by one of the Tranquil. Frost Rocks radiate cold and can be used in any ice-related potions and traps. Okay. Ooh. Interesting little menu. Elf Root, the common name for Cannavaris. This herb actually has little to do with the elves other than being commonly collected and traded to outsiders by the Dalish. It is the primary ingredient in many healing salves. Okay. Again, there we go. Deep mushroom fungi found in the underground is in close proximity to lyrium veins. In addition to their restorative properties, they can also be made into poisons. Okay, wait, okay, they can only be used by warriors or rogues. That's interesting. They grow by lyrium veins. I would have assumed that that would mean that they have the ability to restore some mana, but what's... Okay, is this locked? Is that what that's saying?
Right.
Okay. Well, we'll talk to her in a second. Mage.
This is infuriating. Another batch destroyed. Say, have you seen Owain? Is he in the stockroom?
Yes, I just spoke with him.
Oh, excellent. He wasn't there last I looked. I hope he still has some cinnabar lying around.
No.
When I asked last week, he said he was running out.
Yeah, I hope he's not planning on using that cinnabar on something he's going to consume. Cinnabar, unless I'm very much mistaken, is the basically base form of mercury. It's a red rock where if you subject it to enough heat, it actually melts into mercury, liquid mercury, and never goes back. Well, unless you combine it with some other stuff. Anyway, books. Maleficarum. I think those are bad witches, wizards, mages. That's... Sorry, I've got to get back into the lingo here. So yes, basically it's just talking about how there are bad mages, and that's Maleficarum. The good mages honor the maker, the bad mages don't. The Maleficarum do not. Locked item. You just encountered a locked object. You might be able to pick the lock if your skill is high enough, or you might need to locate a key through adventure and negotiation. Let's talk to Senior Enchanter Leora. Actually, let me close that first. And, oh, health poultices. You've acquired a health poultice. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, it's you. I hear Irving's looking for you.
Dang, I was hoping I'd get her to open that door there, so we could explore that. Anyway, though, let's keep on going. What do we have? Oh, okay, that's Owain. This is the other way in there. Because I think there's a set of stairs right there. So that's actually where we came up. We went out that way and came around. Alright. Let's keep on going. There's the chapel. There's all the pillars I saw on the map. Book.
This should be easy enough.
Rite of Annulment. Is that how they make people tranquil? Okay, no. That is not what it is. It is not how you make things tranquil. To summarize things here, basically there were some mages that there was a mage that misbehaved. The Templars killed him. More mages misbehaved. They basically had some fighting. Then the mages summoned a demon. They lost control of it. It killed the Templars and the mages, and then went out and across the countryside, had to be slain, and killed 70 people in that time. So basically the rite of annulment is you take out unruly circles. The strange thing I don't quite understand here and how the story is told here, it says that basically the demon killed off both the Templars and the mages before it escaped. But like, then how do we know anything about the prior part of the story here? I guess this part up here, the first part, may have been something that somebody wrote down in a diary, and I guess they probably pieced together the rest of it from looking at the scene. Anyway. Alright. Altar? On the founding of the Chantry. Okay, so basically it talks about the creation of a massive cathedral, or temple I guess, in the heart of Orlais, which is again the kind of French country in Dragon Age. And then the king that created the temple was himself then named emperor there, and he decided to push the religion across the entirety of the empire. I would also note real quick that these here, minus the 15 ancient and 3 ancient, we're in the Dragon Age. I don't remember the exact number of ages there are. There's like a dozen of them or something like that before you get to the Dragon Age, which is the current age. Ancient is the most ancient, I think. I could be wrong about that. Anyway, though. Okay. What else do we have in here? We got Keely?
Blessed art thou who exists in the sight of the Maker.
Stay silent.
Blessed are the penitents who seek his return. Blessed is the prophetess, purified by flame. May the chant reach the Maker's ears and tell him of our contrition, so let it be. Oh, I didn't see you there. I recite the Maker's blessings every day. It brings me peace in troubled times.
I should not interrupt your meditations.
Oh, all right then. I should go. My mentor only allows a few minutes each day for religious contemplation.
Okay. Oh, what the I hope that was just a bug. Either that or I just stumbled upon a ghost. The prophetess Andraste.
On it.
The bride of the Maker. So yeah, this story really goes to just how doomed the world is. Basically, the first time around that the Maker turned his back on humanity was when they polluted heaven. Effectively what we talked about before with the Tevinter Imperium entering the Fade by killing all those slaves. They walked into the Golden City and turned it black. Well, he supposedly left then, and then came back when he was called by Andraste. It says here that Andraste was a child who was basically captured by the Tevinter Imperium and made into a slave. She eventually escaped and went back home and sang to the gods. None of the false gods answered her, but the Maker did. She asked him to return, and he did. Was with her, and she and her husband, they raised an army and they fought against the Tevinter Imperium, but her husband got really jealous that people were loving Andraste and loving the Maker, and so he actually sold her out to the Tevinter Imperium, and the Archon, the head of the Tevinter Imperium, executed her by burning her at the stake. He pulled the earthly husband, Mafarath, pulled his forces back because he was basically offered up all the land south of the Waking Sea. But the Archon ended up having mercy upon Andraste, killed her, and the Maker left once again, taking her with him. So that is why this world is now basically twice cursed, because they have screwed over the Maker and his plans at least twice. We got here a bookcase with the Blight.
Let's get started.
The Maker. Anything else? We got Lily.
I heard about your harrowing. Congratulations. Andraste must have smiled upon you.
Okay, let's take a look at those other injuries. Alright, so it's basically just a recounting of basically what we saw in the opening, but I love the way it's worded here, to where it's basically talking about how the Magisters were convinced to go into the Fade, and I just want to read that part because I really do love the way it's worded here. No matter their power, their triumphs, the Mage Lords of Tevinter were men and doomed to die. Then a voice whispered upon their hearts, "Shall you surrender your power to time like beasts of the field? You are lords of the earth. Go forth to claim the empty throne of heaven and be gods." So it's just I love that. And it's basically like, they're like, we're not beasts, we're men. Not only that, we're the best of men. We're going to go and take what we want. We're not going to die here. Oh, right. Another entry there. That is interesting. Okay. So basically, the Maker is literally the Maker, the creator god. So he created his golden city, created the Fade, created beings that would themselves create. But the Fade was ever changing. His creations didn't create. They instead simply stayed around him, worshipping him, which frustrated him because, again, he's the creator, and he created creators, and he wanted to see what the creators would create. So he ended up creating a new world, a world in which things were actually solid, in which there were things opposing each other. And then he sealed the gates to the Golden City and watched to see what these new creations would create, the Secondborn, which I believe are mortals. So, but he also talks about how the mortals will return every night to the Fade from whence they came. Who is this here? Templar.
Third floor is off limits till dinner time. First Enchanter's orders.
Alright. I figured this would be the last spot, so I'd see what else there was.
Many have already gone to Ostagar. Wynne, Aldred, and most of the senior mages. We've committed enough of our own to this war effort.
Your own? Since when have you felt such kinship with the mages, Gregor? Or are you afraid to let the mages out from under Chantry supervision, where they can actually use their Maker-given powers?
How dare you suggest?
Gentlemen, please. Irving, someone is here to see you.
First Enchanter?
Ah, if it isn't our new brother in the circle. Come, child.
This is...
Yes, this is he.
Well, Irving, you're obviously busy. We will discuss this later.
Of course. Well, then, where was I? Oh, yes, this is Duncan of the Greywardens.
The Greywarden in the tower?
Greywardens go wherever duty sends them.
You've heard about the war brewing to the south, I expect. Duncan is recruiting mages to join the King's army at Ostagar.
I actually didn't hear about that. Let's see. Like, I knew about that myself, but the character didn't hear about that. Who are we fighting?
The Darkspawn threat grows in the south. We need all the help we can get.
What do you mean?
The power you mages wield is an asset to any army. Your spells are very effective against large groups of mindless Darkspawn. I fear if we don't drive them back, we may see another blight.
Duncan, you worry the poor lad with talk of blights and Darkspawn. This is a happy day for him.
We live in troubled times, my friend.
We should seize moments of levity, especially in troubled times. The harrowing is behind you. Your phylactery was sent to Denerim. You are officially a mage within the circle of Magi.
My phylactery?
You may not remember, but blood was taken from you when you first came to us. This blood is preserved within a phylactery.
So they can be hunted if they turn apostate.
We have few choices. The gift of magic is looked upon with suspicion and fear. We must prove we are strong enough to handle our power responsibly. You have done this. I present you with your robes, your staff, and a ring bearing the Circle's insignia. Wear them proudly, for you have earned them.
I'm glad to be a part of the Circle.
It goes without saying that you shall not discuss the harrowing with those who have not undergone the rite. Now then, take your time to rest, or study in the library. The day is yours.
Can I leave the tower?
Not yet. Remember, the tower's walls protect us as much as they protect others from us.
I will return to my quarters.
Would you be so kind as to escort Duncan back to his room, child?
It would be my pleasure.
The guest quarters are on the east side of this floor, close to the library. Now, if you'll both excuse me, I have matters to discuss with Gregor.
Okay. Duncan, pile of books. Anything else? No. Let's go take a look at the pile of books. Blood Magic, the Forbidden School. Oh, I think this was that shelf that was emptied, right? Let's see. Okay, so basically, it's talking here about Ancient Inventor and how they used blood instead of mana, and how they eventually discovered that certain spells could only be done with blood. And it's now been banned because, yeah, it's pretty obvious. You have to kill people effectively to use it, so. Alright. Yes, he's with us, okay. And I believe that his room is through this door, and then on the left, right here. No, that's not it, is it? It's further along. There it is.
Thank you for escorting me. Is there something else I can do for you?
What's happening outside the tower?
Ah, I imagine you don't leave very often, do you?
Apprentices are not allowed to leave.
I am not a good source of news, I fear. I am preoccupied with the Darkspawn incursion.
How many mages have joined the King's army?
When the King sent out the call, the Circle of Ferelden sent only 7 mages to Ostagar. I asked King Kaelin's permission to come and seek a greater commitment from the Circle.
How many mages could you possibly need?
I hope to place a mage or 2 within every contingent. I cannot do with just 7. Mages will make all the difference in this battle. The Darkspawn have their own magic, and our resources must exceed theirs.
Will you fight with the King?
Of course, but I am no mage. Mages heal. They can call fire and ice down upon the enemy, and so much more. I sometimes wonder if the Chantry's many laws regarding magic are necessary. Darkspawn are a greater threat than blood mages, even abominations. It takes decades for the world to recover from a blight. I wish the Chantry could see that. We must stop at nothing to defeat the Darkspawn. Listen to me. An old man's rantings can't be very interesting.
I learned much from what you just said.
You are too kind.
Can you tell me more about Greywardens and Darkspawn?
Certainly. I am intimately familiar with these subjects, after all.
Have there been many Darkspawn attacks?
A horde has formed within the Korkari wilds in the south. If they are not stopped, they will strike north into the valley. We Grey Wardens believe that an archdemon is leading the horde.
Archdemon?
Darkspawn do attack the surface in ragtag bands, but archdemons are capable of rallying the Darkspawn, turning them into an unstoppable force. A horde of Darkspawn, a veritable army. It is dire news indeed. I fear this is what we will have to face.
So if I haven't said it before, basically, archdemons are dragons. So the blight is both like this kind of curse, and it's also an infection. It can basically create more Darkspawn, and when it infects dragons, it turns them into archdemons. So, let's see. I've heard about Darkspawn sightings, but in an entire horde?
They usually move around in small groups, but there are always more of them, lurking underground, biding their time.
The King is mustering an army to beat back this threat?
Yes. Perhaps it will be enough if we play our cards right.
I thought the Darkspawn were destroyed in the last blight.
We can't seem to eradicate them completely. Somehow they always come back.
Why were Irving and Gregor arguing about the war?
It is not my place to comment.
Please, I'd like to know.
Gregor serves the Chantry, and the relationship between the Chantry and mages has always been strained. You've realized by now that the Chantry merely tolerates magic? They watch only because they feel they must.
Yes, but they were arguing about the war.
Any mages who join the King's army can unleash their full power on the Darkspawn. In fact, I'm counting on it. Gregor may be afraid of what will happen. What if the mages decide they no longer want to be governed by the Chantry?
What are your opinions on the matter?
I believe we must defeat the Darkspawn, one way or another. My opinions end there.
I'd like to talk more, but I have duties to attend to.
Of course. Don't let me keep you.
Okay. Codex on the Darkspawn. So yeah, it basically starts off with the same creation myth of the Darkspawn. But then it gets down to the part where it says that effectively seems that no blight has ever actually reached Ferelden. They got as far as the Free Marches, which I believe is like the western edge of Ferelden, in between Ferelden and Orlais, but anyway. Okay. Alright, this is actually where we're going to end things this time. Just because I don't want to make these videos overly long, and as much as I want to basically get through all the content here in the tower, I also don't, again, want these things to have to be like 3 or 4 hours long. So we'll come back next time, and I think that will be the second and final video here at the tower. Alright, this has been the Irresolute Cartographer. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time.